Fred. You ready? Shall we slow it down and stop?
Odd now.
Good morning, Tuesday.
So get your bag, your coat. Right, love you, Dave.
Lead, but we get right behind them and get a late equaliser, a bit like last year. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, go on, Lewis.
Can I just say, I've had nothing to do with the planning of this show.
I've done it all.
Which, to be honest, is pretty much for the first time ever, other than when I've been on holiday and left Sam and Abby to it, and we all remember those shows, right? Jess is back with this week's Chord of the Week.
Yes, he is.
I'm very hot.
I don't know what's happening.
What could I do to cool down?
Oh, goodness gracious me. What in the world of Ukes is happening?
Against Manchester United on Sunday, and I'm very, very excited.
Manchester United, I thought it was Man City.
So every day there's a new vlog.
He's
on my
filming for
channel.
it now because he can't even get his own content.
It's called Studio Time. Go into Google, put Studio Time - Kevin Duncan.
Isn't it called Studio Life?
It's called Studio Life. I've done a thing. Very exciting thing. I've bought some new shoes. Look at these bad boys. However, I literally cannot walk. It's like wearing a pair of Doc Martens again for the first time. I did another thing. I bought a skateboard. You're going to learn I'm actually a bit of a child. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, that was fun. And slightly crazy. I thought today I'd have a look at a new instrument from the Crow Hill Company. Now, the Crow Hill Company are a relatively new company. Christian Henderson heads them up, and Christian was one of the co-founders of Spitfire Audio. This is a completely new, separate thing based around experimental sampling, not your average sample instruments, let's say. And they do a whole thing called Vaults, which is free, and that is amazing. I would highly recommend having a look at that. They've got a couple of paid-for instruments, and what I'm going to look at today is one of their paid-for instruments, which is called the Vertical Piano. First preset that's on there is really bog standard piano. There's nothing much going on there at all. It's a fairly nice sounding piano. I like it. There's a few things that I noticed straight away. The dynamic range is missing. That's me playing the note as soft as I can, and if you look at the meters at the top of Logic there, you'll see that's as loud as I can. There's not much in between those. Playing as soft as you can should really result in no note at all, or just ever so slightly, just the hammer touching the keys and touching the strings. But I don't think that this is designed to be a piano library, an all-encompassing piano library. It's designed for the special effects and the effects that they've got built in here. When I first got it, it disappointed me slightly because I thought I might be able to get a nice upright piano out of it. And it is a nice upright piano. It's playable. And it's playable as a piano, but Crow Hill and Christian Henderson, very much media composers, writing music for film, This piano sits squarely into that. It's when you then go through some of these presets. So Santa Monica. Loads more room sound in there. You can really begin to feel and hear that this is for one of those piano sounds that you want real vibe. You want a certain vibe. This piano can achieve it. The kind of thing that you hear instrumental music on YouTube all the time, background music like I use, Epidemic Sound type tracks, and you hear them all the time, and you'll hear these kind of piano sounds that we're going to come to. So just going through, on the left hand side, you've got that kind of source section that adds noise, and as if you were playing it back through speakers and things like that. On the right hand side, we've got these effects racks, and the first one is a tape reel, which you can turn on and off there. So we're getting a slight warble there. You can start and stop the tape, which is awesome. That's quite quiet, but I wish it'd stop a bit slower, if I'm honest. You've got models on here. So headset, old radio, field, horn, homegrown, amplified, overload, capsule, and a mix control for those. We've got wells, drops, flux, drive. You can change the IPS. So if you really don't warbly, slow it down. That's very much the Epidemic Sound, YouTube sound, background, depending on what you're doing. By far the best thing to do with this is to go through the presets. Scoring. Very cinematic. So we've got some delay on there, which is in the effects part of the module here. So in the effects one, we've got fractals, which add these kind of synthy effects in there. We've got a delay, we've got space, so reverb basically, with lots of different options in there. Studio, stage, hall, epic plate, spring and digital. You can change the order that those effects are in. We have a master section, which offers us an EQ, saturation, compression. Again, you can change the order, and then general settings, which are all to do with velocity curve and things like that. Real piano. Let's see what that does. It's real cinematic, vibey, straight away, and you can feel that, and I can feel what kind of tracks I've used for. Very much music for picture stuff that springs to mind. Somber Sunset. See what the tape reel's doing there. One other thing they've built into this tape reel is a little looper here, look, and you can loop the number of bars that you want to loop. Lost Waves. I'm not going to go through all of these. It just adds various degrees of vibe. Yeah, these effects, you could play around for hours with them. And I guess that's the fun of it. The fun part of an instrument like this is you've got all of these presets. Intimate upright. So just more of a normal piano sound. So I guess my question was, do we need another piano library in the world? No, we don't need another standard piano library, I don't think. Although, I still haven't found one that I'm 100% happy with, and I've been using them for the best part of 15 years. So that's a bit of an issue. Still, Spectrasonics is okay. It's not for me. It's too thick sounding. I used to love Ivory pianos, but then that got to the point where they just sounded a bit synthetic to me. I used to have a Garritan piano that I really liked, that I've recorded albums on, but it never felt nice to play. The Native Instrument ones, they're all good pianos, and in a mix, I think any of these piano libraries are great. It's when you're doing solo piano stuff, which I do quite a lot of, finding something that feels like playing a real piano, but also that sounds like playing a real piano. And I know that's down to the feel of the keyboard, but it's also down to how the samples react and how quickly they react to when you press keys down and things like that. That makes the feel of it as well as the keyboard that you're using. So no, we don't need another one of those at the minute unless something comes along that absolutely blows all of that competition out the window, and I'm still waiting for that to happen, which is why I guess I keep buying piano libraries. Not really why I bought this one. I bought this one because I think the Crow Hill stuff is kind of collectible if you want really individual sounding stuff that other people aren't necessarily using. Then Crow Hill is a really good way to go. This library, the thing that lets it down to me is that dynamic range. There's nothing on there. So the level of sampling is less than you would find on one of those dedicated piano libraries. And I guess that doesn't matter if you consider all the effects that you get and this vibe that you get from using this with the tape effect and all of the other effects, all the other effects that are on there as well. So I think that's what this instrument is. This is supposed to be a very quick review of it. It's quite pricey. I think it's currently £130 until the end of this month, and then it goes to £169, I think. I really like it. I'm going to play around with it in tracks and see how it then beds into stuff. So you're going to see it in use. Maybe the next writing session I do with an artist will start with this and see what comes out of it. And that's probably the best way to actually get a full review on it. I'm off to play badminton with Steve from the office, which is going to be fun. I feel a bit achy and tired at the minute, so I'm hoping it's going to loosen up the shoulders a little bit, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then I'm back here, so I'm going to play badminton, maybe get the car washed, get back here to finish off a little bit of studio work and edit today's vlog and try and get that uploaded before midnight. Fingers crossed. So, that's a bit of a disaster. I have pulled my hamstring about 2 minutes before we end up playing badminton. I need to rest it. The only thing cold that we had here, I had to come back to work because I left all the stuff here, is some ice pops. Strangely enough though, I'm happier today than I was yesterday when I was quite miserable and moany. Can't walk, in absolute agony, pain shooting through the back of my leg. Supposed to be driving to Dublin in a couple of days, walking around Dublin and getting back in time to go to Wembley on Sunday, and we're in the top tier at Wembley, which means a lot of steps to walk up. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I guarantee I will be in Dublin and I will be at Wembley, whatever happens. See you tomorrow.